Chelsea are back to winning ways, and Callum Hudson-Odoi shatters a record that I didn't know existed, but it is so sweet. Welcome to the Kavkas View. Today's video is an interesting one. It's very positive. Today's video is actually some excitement. We're at the halfway stage of the season, right? But I think we have made it to the halfway stage. There is so much to be optimistic about as a Chelsea fan. I know the last few weeks have been difficult. I know the last few weeks have been annoying, but we are finally here, and I can say it with my hand on my chest. We are title contenders. 19 games in, 6 points off the top, we are most definitely title contenders. And in today's video, we have got 4 major things we're going to talk about. Number 1, the update on Thiago and Kante. We're not going to achieve nothing if these two don't remain fit. They are integral to our points this year. Then we're going to talk about the Romelu Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku makes statements that makes you realize how important yesterday was for him, because everything I've been saying has been playing on his mind. You can tell by his reaction. Callum Hudson-Odoi, the record he broke is very inspiring, and more importantly, what has he become? And finally, we're going to do a quick mini review of the first 19 games and the Champions League. Where are we located? What is realistic? And what are Chelsea going to achieve this year? But you already know the deal. It is super important that you lot hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's hit 150 likes. Be the person that hits the likes to make me hit 150. Guys, the year's almost done. I don't know if we're going to hit 12K, but we're getting closer and closer. So support the channel. I really appreciate it. And more importantly, leave a comment below. Let me know, right? Are Chelsea title contenders in your eyes, or are we just pretenders? But I think we are title contenders. Let's move on with the video. All right. So first of all, this is a great statistic that we need to be pointing out. Arjen Robben used to play for Chelsea, and we all know what he went on to achieve. One of the best all-time wingers, trademark move where he cuts in from the left-hand side, top bins, you know what it is. And Callum Hudson-Odoi broke his record. Callum becomes the youngest ever Chelsea player to get 10 Premier League assists. And Callum Hudson-Odoi does this, breaking Arjen Robben's record. And a lot of you are going to say, Alex, what are you talking about, man? It's not that impressive. It is that impressive, because you need to remember, at Chelsea, young players don't play. This is new. What we're experiencing now is very new. We never had youngsters break through. So only the creme de la creme break through. And the fact that Callum is doing this, and the holder of this record is Arjen Robben, it tells you a lot you need to hear. His performance yesterday was fantastic. He got a goal, an assist for the goal. He was involved in Lukaku winning the penalty, and he won the penalty himself. His all-round outside of the boot is becoming trademark Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's perfected a move that most people can't do at latter stages of their career. He's running outside of the boot, flings it into, changing the channel. Inside, in-swinging corner, beautiful. It's so important, that pass, that it's fantastic. The way the guy dribbles with the ball, he's such an efficient player, doesn't turn over the ball. And you heard from Thomas Tuchel, he said he was never upset with him throughout the whole game. He just tried a back flick that pissed him off for a second. But otherwise, he was outstanding. He gave him credit. He gave him so much praise. I've never heard of Tuchel speak about Odoi like that. But you know with me, right? I will not be satisfied until Callum Hudson-Odoi or any Chelsea footballer is Lionel Messi standard. And none of them are going to be there anytime soon. So we have always got constructive criticism on this shit. In my opinion, 18 games, 2 goals, 4 assists for Callum is not a great return. It's been okay, but he needs to improve that. I've always said that about Mason Mount. Mace is starting to do it, but for me, it needs to be a 1 in 2 rate. So 1 in 2 games, you need to get me either a goal or an assist. I think that's fair. At this moment in time, it's a 1 in 3 rate, if I'm not mistaken. So that can improve. It's a little adjustments, little run of form, and it will be looking much prettier and much better for Callum Hudson-Odoi. That's just my targets. Now we're going to move on to N'Golo Kante, and Chelsea are not going to achieve nothing without N'Golo and Thiago. I'm going to tell you that, right? For free. Those two have to play the biggest games for us to achieve anything. Knockouts ties, those two are playing. Our chances of winning go from most probably 60% to 80%, 90%. That's how much of a difference maker both of them are. Sad thing is, N'Golo's injured with the same knee that caused him to be injured against Juventus, and he's got sore once again. What was said to be a precautionary move apparently isn't, and Tuchel confirms this in his press conference, and this is low-key good for Chelsea. So Matt Law on the Blue podcast, or whatever they're called, yeah, London is Blue podcast, he stated, right, that Chelsea would consider going into the market in January if Kante's injuries continue. They're continuing. So I don't know who we're going to bring in, but Chouameni labeled, named, whatever you want to call it, it might be him. But I'm not going to report this right now because there's no articles written about it. It's just one of those things to keep it in the loop. Once there is, you know I'll drop it. On the other hand, Thiago Silva felt his hamstring. And he felt his hamstring and they took him off straight away as a precaution. And I love this. And the reason I love this is because they're protecting him. He's been playing too many minutes. And in the way the Premier League season's going, he had to play those minutes. I understand that. I'm not saying, oh my God, how dare you play him all these minutes. I understand the implications. I understand how corrupt this whole situation at this moment in time is. So many games, so little time. We have to play. Most teams don't. We can't complain. We've got a great squad. We have to deal with it. Next game, I don't want to see Thiago on the pitch against Brighton. We don't need Thiago Silva to beat Brighton. We should have enough in the locker to beat Brighton without Thiago Silva. Bring in Christensen, bring in Rudiger, and put Chalo on the other side or Aspi on the other side, and everything should be fine. That's my personal opinion. Rest him, wrap him up on wall, get him ready for Liverpool. I think another man that we need ready for Brighton, though, is Romelu Lukaku. Look, Romelu Lukaku's time at Chelsea hasn't been great. He's got 6 goals in 17 appearances, injury records that he hasn't had in recent time. He's been very healthy, but the performances were the poor aspect, and that was why a lot of people, amongst myself, said, I need more from Romelu Lukaku. And it was coming to him as well. He said in an interview after the game, I needed this. You don't say I needed this if you ain't believing in if you're not doubting yourself. And the reason he was doubting himself was because things weren't coming naturally for him. He had to adjust his game. He had to evolve his game once again. And he was struggling, but he will be fine. How do I know he's going to be fine? Because I'm telling you now, I said this before, I'm going to say it again. The way he played yesterday gave me good indicators that he wants to change. He was moving around. He was asking for the ball in tight areas and releasing it quickly. He was sprinting into the background. He was hogging that right-hand side and making inward runs. He was asking questions of the centre half. This is a different Romelu Lukaku to the individual that came in, had a great game against Arsenal, and then went back to being formulaic Lukaku, where everything had to be a revolve around him. I think he realised being out of the side, not starting straight away when he came back, this might not be the right thing for him. If he doesn't fix his attitude and try to work the way Tuchel wants, he won't be playing. And for me, this is golden, this is amazing, and he looks promising. Let's hope he bags the brace against Brighton, and then we'll see where we move from there. Now, a quick mini review of the halfway point of the season. So, Chelsea are 3rd in the Premier League, which is great, but then we're going to talk about the Champions League. So the draw that we got for the last 16 is Lille. Fantastic draw, and this came in an unorthodox way. Usually, when you come second in a group, stuff like this doesn't happen. We came second in the group to Juventus. Part of the reason we came second in the group is because we blew it up ourselves. We got ourselves in control of the challenge, and then all of a sudden, we drew with Zenit. It made no sense why this happened. It was a poor performance that time in Russia, but it happens when you already know you're through and you're just playing to win the group. The luck of the draw was on our side. We got Lille once again, so that's perfectly fine. We're happy here. The key aspect here is, though, we're 3rd, 6 points off City. If you get offered that at the start of the season, I would have said, you know what, I'll take it. After 19 games, only being 6 points behind them, considering the gap last year between us and them, it is fantastic. The other good aspects here that are impressing me is we scored 42 goals already, which is a lot better than last season. And our XG is 38.49. Which means we are nearly 3 and something goals above what we're meant to be at, which is great. But the stat that really impresses me is we've only conceded 13 goals when we're meant to be have conceded based on XG against expected goals is 18.08, which is great. I can't complain. I really can't. It's one of those fantastic things. The only thing that I worry about is our top goal scorer at this moment in time is Mason Mount, with 7 goals. As much as I think Bates is a good player, he ain't really top goal scorer type. He ain't Frank Lampard, he ain't going to get you 20 goals. So, realistically speaking, I really hope one of the wingers starts pitching in. Maybe Romelu Lukaku starts going on a little run where he bags a few. But we need, in the league, 15 to 18 goals from Romelu Lukaku this year. Hopefully he can step up. Jorginho's got 6, which is mad. But all in all, guys, this was the Kavkas View. We're doing well. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Extremely positive video. No mention of Hakim Ziyech today. Peace out. I'm out. Bye.